Joly, 54, is married to Canadian graphic designer Stacey and the couple share 2 children. In an unearthed interview with the comedian, he shared details of his near-divorce tour holiday with his wife in Istanbul. Express.co.uk asked Dom in the 2018 about his most memorable holiday. He replied, "Recently I took my wife and kids on a road trip to Istanbul and back. Everybody said it would be a divorce tour, but we actually had a blast. We got shot at by a policeman in Serbia and left our passports behind in a hotel safe in Budapest, but otherwise it all went rather well. We do a family road trip every Easter. I think it's good for the soul." Dom joins James Martin on his Saturday morning show today, not for the first time. The comedian made an appearance in February and used the opportunity to hit back at the chef in a back-and-forth tease. James asked, "Tell us about growing up in Lebanon." Dom began, "Well, I think growing up in Lebanon kind of explains a lot of why I do a lot of confusing things, because it's a confusing place. So I grew up there because my parents lived there, obviously, but it was an English family, and we'd been there for 2 generations for reasons that are way too complicated to explain. And when I was a tiny kid, Lebanon was pretty much the perfect place in the world. It was called Switzerland of the Middle East. It was like living in the south of France, pine trees, Beirut was amazing. Food is incredible, skiing an hour away, beach an hour away. Then, just as I got to an age where I was going to enjoy it, the whole place just exploded, civil war, and so I grew up in a really weird kind of schizophrenic life. Half of my school holidays, I was in a civil war, and then it'd be at a boarding school in England for school, and both were equally weird," he explained. James interrupted and asked, "Isn't it right that you went to school with Bin Laden?" Teasing James, he said, "Well, you're ruining my best story in my talk, but I will tell it now. Bang, it's gone. It's one of my big punchlines, but yeah, it is. I went back to do a documentary on Lebanon after Trigger Happy, and I went back. I was actually supposed to be going on a road trip into Syria because, ironically, we used to go to Syria to get a bit of peace and quiet." You can watch Dom on Saturday Morning with James Martin at 9:25 a.m. on ITV.